old for that theme song because I do not move like that. But I appreciate it because we are back for another edition of, I'm just going to dub it Triple P, Pluggo's PLE post show. Forbidden Door, live from London at the O2.
Technically, it's Pluggo's pay-per-view post show.
Well, to be fair, when I initially decided I wanted to take reign on the post shows, I was going to do just the WWE PLEs because I can't always make the AEW stuff. But since it was at 1 o'clock in the afternoon on a Sunday, and you kind of talked me into it, Ella, I decided to throw this one in the mix. That's why I'm double dipping tonight and doing NXT later. But hey, we are here, like I said, talking Forbidden Door. What a wild way to end. That was crazy. But Ella J's in the house, and Lawrence, who was just on the watch along, is also here. What's up, guys?
What's up? Lawrence is probably tired as hell.
I think I'm trapped here. I'm trapped in the Matrix at this point.
Yeah.
He's what keeps the lights going at Love Wrestling. Yeah. He just runs in a wheel. And then we feed him cheese.
My knees are hurting like Tanahashi's at this point. Like I'm climbing the ladder the same way. I love how everyone's like, "You don't worry, Uncle, we got this. You don't have to jump off this thing." I got him off that ladder real quick.
Yeah, that frog splash at the end there took a minute to get set up. But Zach's now saying it's National Waffle and Peach Pie Day.
Okay.
Yeah, I like waffles.
I like peach pie. I like waffles too. I mean,
like waffles.
You could probably put peach pie on top of a waffle. That might be too bad. Why not? A little syrup on top. So, where do we want to start? Right? Like, do I want to go all the way back to the beginning, or do we want to talk about the murder that we just saw?
Which one?
The one that closed the night out here. Technically, that's not a match, right? Technically, that wasn't the main event. It was
Darby Allin also got murdered with a fork.
Darby Allin is dead. Will Ospreay is absolutely dead.
Darby Allin just got Van Gogh'd. He's just rocking the 1 year. That went on for so long. It went on for so long. That damn fork spot. I guess you can start the beginning of the show.
I guess we could.
I don't know, it's your show. I'm leaving in a minute.
But you got to talk about your Canadians. Then you'll go. Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta tell us your MVPs of the night, your favorite Canadian of the night. You got to give me Lawrence's hot take before I get you out of here. I got to get something out of you on the show. Can't show up to this party empty-handed, Lawrence.
MVP of the night. I'll go Tony Stark. Actually, Bozilla. I'll go Bozilla. Bozilla definitely coming out one of the bigger stars of that match. Made her look great throughout the Fatal 4-Way. Canadian of the night, I'm going to go Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega is the Canadian of the night.
Okay.
Great showing there. And what else? Match of the night. There's got to be a tie. Like, I like the 4-Way. I like the Tony Storm Athena match.
Yeah.
Sounds like that main event was also ridiculous. Or that Lights Out match was just
whatever.
Correct.
I call it the main event. I don't care. If anybody wants to come at me and go, it's not technically the main event, whatever, nerd. Listen here, I get it. You're better than me. That's fine. Fernando's in the chat saying, "What's up?"
You know the nerd's going to go after you, like LJ pointed out for AEW show with PLE.
Did you just take a backhanded shot at Bella?
Goddamn fed heads talking about all the wrestling.
Catch me outside in Toronto. Yeah. How about that, Lawrence?
Yeah, we just found out Lawrence and Ella are going to be in Toronto together. There's a fight about an unsanctioned brawl's about to happen in the streets.
No, because I don't want to get stranded in Toronto. I'd still like to get back home, so maybe I won't whoop Lawrence that bad.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, fair.
Lawrence you probably whoop Lawrence, and he probably apologized because that's what Canadians
Sorry.
do. Sorry about that. Fernando's saying,
I'm leaving.
Bye, Lawrence. Thank you for hanging. Fernando says that Swerve and Okada was his match of the night. While Lawrence is out of here, shout out to Lawrence. Go follow Lawrence. But before we dive into this card here. Give us a like, give us a follow, hit us a subscribe. If you want to get your statement or question read on the air, just send us a super chat. You help out people like me who need the monies to buy all these goofy things that I
and to blow the budget. The only way he could afford me is by your super chats. So yes.
Spencer, when he gets the invoice, he's going to be pissed. Now, did you watch any of the pre-show? Or did you
I did not.
Okay, that's fine. I just wanted to make sure. I actually sat and watched it. It was cool. There were some fun matches. Megan Bain's team won.
Yeah, I saw the Ops retained as well.
The Ops retained. I'm already blanking on who faced Jet Speed. Oh, Gates, Vagney, and Ricochet. They won. So it was what it was. Okay. So if you didn't watch, Danielson was on commentary tonight. That was my first.
I loved that, by the way. Like, breath of fresh air. Like,
yes.
He's not overpowering. He's not shouting over anyone. He explains stuff. He also gives like commentary too as a babyface. I feel like he's just a good, like, calm presence. Obviously, when it came to like MJF and whatever, he was like MJF essentially.
Oh,
which was
for
funny.
sure.
But for the most part, he like had really great insights and was like really chill. I appreciated it.
Oh, I did too. I thought he gave great commentary and he gives good insight into things that I'm just like I would never think of. And then I didn't love that at the end he was like, I got to recuse myself because
I get it.
I understand that they tried to murder you, but hey man, you're Bryan Danielson.
You know what? I wouldn't want to be out there too with the Death Riders. Tried to kill him twice with the plastic bag. So like, I get it.
But okay, so let's go ahead and dive right into it. We started out with Christian and Copeland versus Sabian and Killswitch. How hard did you pop for Edge? I'm going to say it. Edge's theme song. Yeah. I thought about you the minute it hit.
I love it. I can't wait to be able to sing it in person in his hometown of Toronto next month. I am not surprised that they won. We'll talk about later. In my predictions, I was 8-1 tonight. There was one surprise. Yeah. I think they were gonna get the win because it's gonna set up for another tag team match at All Out. So obviously you want them going into that with a win. I thought that they would be vying for the tag titles at All Out, but based on the result of that match, I don't think there's going to be any titles on the line.
No.
But I was happy. Obviously, I'm really sad that Nick Wayne didn't get to be a part of that. A broken foot was obviously kind of really untimely, but it did bring back he's Luchasaurus to me.
Yeah, right.
Killswitch too. Very happy to see Killswitch Luchasaurus back as well. Unfortunately, Nick is injured, but I'm very happy that we're getting the early groundwork of Cope and Christian, and I get to hear his theme song in person. So I'm even more happy.
Yeah, no, Killswitch, Luchasaurus, whatever you want to call him, being back, good for him, because I heard that was pretty dire there for a hot minute. And it might not have ever been back, but he's back taking Nick Wayne's place. For me, this match, the whole thing I was focusing on was Copeland and Christian going to be able to coexist and make it happen. And it was surprising to me that Killswitch and Kip Sabian were on the opposite ends of communication most of the time here. And Mother Wayne, Coach of the Year, tried her best. Mm-hmm. That was weird to me. So there was like that weird spot where like Killswitch like picks up Christian picks up Kip Sabian for Adam Copeland. And I was like, wait, what, is he confused on which side he's on? But ultimately it was the bad guys that were not on the same page. And then Cope and Christian got it done and didn't hug, shook hands.
We'll get that hug in Toronto.
They've already once you've already hugged.
That was okay. So that was not a full hug. You saw a little bit of hesitation. That was like a 3/4 hug from Christian. We need the full 100%, which I think we'll get, but just not now.
Zach is reminding us it's National Waffle and Peach Pie Day. We talked about it a couple of times. Now I want some of that. I'm hungry because we'll have to get into that. So yeah, so they didn't fully embrace, but I mean, you kind of half-ass embrace, but you went back. We went backwards.
Yeah. So, well, also this is a reunion of like convenience, like, out of necessity, not necessarily like a warm one. So they did it because they needed each other, not necessarily they wanted to. So maybe once they get past, I don't need you. I need you and I want you. We're not there yet, So
Right, but at the end of the day, they get the job done.
Yeah.
But the way that Kip Sabian and Luchasaurus operated, I don't think Copeland or Christian needed either one of them. Probably could have beat them themselves.
I do not know what is going to happen with. Okay, well, first of all, next week is supposed to be Death Before Dishonor. Nick obviously is not going to be defending his title,
Yeah.
so I don't know if we're getting an interim champion. I feel like out of this, Nick was supposed to get like the spotlight, was supposed to be like elevated coming out of this.
Yeah.
Granted, he could still be on TV and like from the sidelines and stuff, but now I'm kind of a little bit concerned about where Killswitch and Kip Sabian are going to be in the shuffle if Nick Wayne is not there, because he was the one who's supposed to be kind of elevated throughout all of this, and he's going to be out for a number of weeks. So I fear that Sabian and Killswitch might get lost in the shuffle.
Yeah.
I don't know, but we'll see.
Because Nick broke his foot. He said last week he'd be out for a few weeks. I don't know what a few weeks means in broken foot terms, but I would imagine that's not just a few weeks.
At least a month.
I was going to say at minimum a month. Chris Parrish is in the house saying hello all. Chris, we're talking Forbidden Door, obviously, so let us know what you thought about Forbidden Door. Then we moved on to the TNT Championship. Now, this match for me, I talked about it a little bit earlier this week. There was zero story to it, zero build. Tanahashi comes back. They insert him into this match. This is the match. But it was good. It was a great match, and that's what I figured. It was going to be a good match, but there wasn't anything like exciting.
This I think was my match of the night, honestly, between Takahashi and Fletcher. There was a lot of near falls. You saw Takahashi kind of like just powering out of like the brain busters and all of that. He had that flurry of offense. You know, you saw him get riled up. They had some false finishes there. You saw Kyle getting frustrated. Then Takahashi rolled him up, and then Kyle finally got the win with the drop brain buster. I thought this was very well paced. There were some good moments of Takahashi being defiant. Like you said, though, kind of really the most underrated match going into it, because there really was no story. It was just, Takahashi showing up, and then Kyle's defending.
Takahashi killed it though in that spot, that ring apron spot where he puts Kyle on his head and then power bombs him onto this. Oh, nasty.
For me, this or I think the TBS Championship was probably my matches of the night personally. I really enjoyed this one, honestly, more than I was expecting to.
Yeah, and it's kind of like, and this is like, I should have talked about top of the Forbidden Door. Lawrence was in the house messing up our flow. No, I'm just kidding, Lawrence. We love you. Ella's gonna get you in Toronto, son. Too Sweet Kyle's now saying that this was his first time seeing Takahashi work, and he agrees it could have been was his match of the night as well. Shout out to Too Sweet Kyle. He's going to be hanging out with me after Heatwave here later on this very channel later tonight, because I am a crazy person. But this was Forbidden Door, right? A lot of these matches, maybe about half of them, I would say we were all locked in and going, that's the winner. There's no doubt about it. They're not making a decision here. But the matches all hit. Like, I don't think there was a match tonight where I left it going, nah, that wasn't for me. I think everything went really well.
I believe so. There was definitely... This was a more predictable card. Like I said, I went 8-1 in predictions. There was really only one match.
What'd you get wrong?
The AEW tag title match. We will talk about that finish in a second.
I think you and the whole world got it wrong.
So the matches themselves, besides the finish of that tag title match, were pretty good. There was some... I have some question marks about some of the matches that we'll be talking about later. Like, how certain things didn't happen and why certain other things did happen. But we'll get to those once we get to them. I still have some question marks coming out of this show, I must say.
I love how you always try to keep this show on the rails like I've ever done that before. You're like, we'll talk about it later. Yeah. Don't bring it up now. Yeah, like I said, at the end of the day, this match was great. I really enjoyed it. I think Kyle Fletcher, I would have loved for them to figure out a way to like maybe introduce us to Kyle's next like big thing here. Like, hey, he just took out Takahashi, one of the all-time greats. What's next for our TNT Championship? Because as much as he, I think, will redefine the TNT Championship overall, because I think he's got that kind of talent, I'd like to see them really push it as like, this is one of our big three, you know, the unified title, world title, TNT Championship.
Well, he's aligned with Wardlow came back. We'll talk about that.
We will.
With Okada too as well. It depends how healthy people in the main event are coming out of it. Like if Kenny,
right,
Darby, we know Will is going to be out. I have no idea how Kenny and Darby are. At least
Well,
coming out of it.
I know going into it, JR was like, they're not really cleared.
Literally, okay, so out of everybody on Will's team, Darby Allin was arguably the most healthy out of everybody, which is shocking and sad at the same time. My God.
Yeah, I don't know how that match was even allowed to happen. We can have the. I sat there and I just was like, I get it. You're not going to tell Will Ospreay no in London, but I thought somebody needed to maybe step in and we just figure out something where we go. It was cool, but was it necessary? I wasn't quite sure there, but I had a good time. I'll say that. That's all I'm going to say. Because I don't want to be that guy that's like all the. Because there were some other people that weren't cleared that were injured. That was a main focal point of. Yeah, and he got written off TV today too, I think. Yeah. But the next match, and you said was up there with your match tonight. This match for me, I thought I had a really good time with it. Yeah. The TBS Championship, Mercedes Moné takes on Persephone of CMLL, Bozilla of Stardom, and Alex Winza of, well, she's in AEW now. Yeah. Where was she before? I don't remember.
On the Indies, kind of everywhere.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. I was like, I wasn't sure if she was locked in somewhere, but the beginning of this match, I was cracking up the whole time because Bozilla is 6 feet.
She was the star of this match.
She was the star, but every time Mercedes tried to jump on her or knock her down, just like bounced off of her.
Yeah.
She absolutely showed out. I think this was a match that if like, because I didn't know much about Bozilla, and I guess commentary said she's 21. She's only been wrestling She's only been wrestling for a few months in Stardom. Like, it's not been long.
Yes, she debuted in June in Stardom. Before that,
did I lose Ella?
No, I'm here. I can still see you. Can you guys still see me?
Oh, you're choppy on my end, so I don't know if maybe it's me, but you're good now.
Okay. Yeah, Bozilla's
You're good. I don't know what just happened there.
Bozilla's only been in Stardom since June. Before that, she was in Marigold. She was a tag team champion there. So she was there for about a year, and then she jumped over to Stardom. Yeah. So she's relatively new to that, but she's been wrestling for about 3 years, has a lot of stock behind her. And that moonsault, I loved that. There was a lot of amazing moments in this match.
Yeah, they all. I think each woman had an opportunity to shine there and show out. And Mercedes, you could tell they were all really trying to go after her. Mercedes. Oh no! Is that me? Am I gone? Was it you?
My stream was fine. I don't know if it's you or me.
I don't know what just happened there, but I just like dipped out, dipped back in. Everybody left me. I don't know what I was saying at that moment. You. It could be me. I'm trying to figure that out right now. We're trying to mess with the situation. Who knows what's going on?
You have to get off the internet. People who are watching this, was Pluggo frozen or was I frozen? That's what I need to know.
Well, Lauren said it was me when I asked initially. Okay. Hopefully you still have access here. No.
Oh my god.
Okay, so it seems to be working now.
Okay.
But yeah, Bozilla was absolutely, that's, that she just showed out. Like, I think that makes me go, okay, is Tony Khan gonna go ahead and try to sign her? We're gonna see more of her in
I think we'll see more of her for sure. We'll probably see her on Dynamite because so they just ended the Stardom Grand Prix, which Momo Watanabe won. So Stardom kind of just ended a big thing. I don't know if they'll need her back right away. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Bozilla on Dynamite or Collision next week too.
Very cool. And that would be cool. I'd be down with that. Then that massive superplex thing that they did in the corner spot there was wild. I don't know what you were thinking going in. I know that there was a lot of chatter and discussion about this might be the best opportunity to kind of get that TBS championship off of Mercedes and maybe put it on Alex Windsor and get her off of it because she's got 9 championships. Who's going to take this thing off Mercedes? Like, there's no one on the roster right now that she hasn't already beat.
See, it's difficult because, like, I want to say somebody like a Megan Bayne, but they're both heels. So that would require somebody, like, turning babyface. I think Jamie Hayter is going to be the one to either beat Mercedes or Tony. I just don't know which one. Like, I think that we could get a Jamie and Mercedes rematch. We could also get Jamie and Tony because they never got that rematch from Double or Nothing 2023. As of right now, though, like babyface wise, I also don't foresee anybody beating Mercedes right now unless they run back like a James, because she's already beaten Stat twice. She's beaten Willow. Queen Aminata is kind of I love Queen Aminata, but she's not at that level yet where I could kind of confidently say. I think it could be Jamie. They could be getting a rematch for their title. I just don't know.
Well, Robert Brown is in the chat saying he's from Lafayette, Indiana, and he found us on a random scroll. So welcome in. We're talking Forbidden Door. Let us know what you thought. How often do we go live? I Love Wrestling.
Pretty much every day.
Almost every day, yeah. So we got Thursday night, we got Beards, obviously. Saturday for Exposure, you got me. The PLE's right here, you got me today. Twice with Ella here today. Got me with Too Sweet Kyle later. We got Quizplex. We go live all the time. Hit the subscribe button, and we also have a bunch of fun interviews up right now. We got all sorts of fun stuff at Love Wrestling. Wrestling matches. We put on our own wrestling matches here. So, yeah, welcome in. Thanks for hanging out. My name is Pluggo, which is weird that it's not on the screen today. Did you see that? It's not on the screen. Yeah. It's usually on the screen. I don't understand how that works. I don't know why that happened. I'm not sure. I don't know anything about anything technologically sound. But yeah, I'm Pluggo, and this is Ella J. You should give Ella a follow. I don't remember exactly when, but Mercedes retains. Obviously, yes. We're talking that she retained. And I can't remember now when I'm thinking about it in my notes when the Jamie Hayter stuff happened. But we can kind of talk about that because it's kind of tight. The triangle, I'm trying to speak here. I wanted to say trio. The Triangle of Madness. Her and Queen Aminata and Tekla are fighting backstage. Yeah. They claim that they have been fighting since 0 hour. I think they took a break, I would imagine. That would been a long time to do that. And then the Triangle of Madness gets the best of Queen Aminata. They're beating her down, and all of a sudden Jamie Hayter's music hits. She is back. Breath of fresh air. I'm glad she is back. She was injured for a little while there, and now she seems like she's going after Tekla, so she's not quite going back after Mercedes here. But what do you think about Jamie Hayter's return?
Jamie is my favorite girl on the entire AEW roster, so I was so happy to see her back. I got her behind me too as well. Obviously, she's from England too as well, so it's another kind of hometown pop, even though she wasn't in action. I'm glad that whatever injury she had wasn't that serious, where she was out for like a whole year again. But I'm hoping that this is leading to a blood and guts that we have all been asking for, because you basically have the Triangle of Madness, Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford on one side, and then you could get Jamie, Queen Aminata, Willow, Harley, and Statlander probably on the other. So I'm hoping that this leads to a 5-on-5 blood and guts. In the meantime, if it doesn't, I'm hoping that soon we finally get Tony Storm versus Jamie Hayter in a rematch for the women's championship, because Jamie hasn't gotten that since she lost it to Tony at Double or Nothing 2023, and we've never gotten a rematch. So I'm waiting for that. But in the meantime, I will settle for blood and guts, which we absolutely want and need.
Yeah, that's been definitely something I think would be the next big move if we could get the all women's blood and guts match.
I would love to see it all out.
That would be great. Oh, yeah, maybe.
I have not seen Jamie wrestle live, so I'm hoping that it happens.
She gets a match. I don't know where it's at in Toronto per se. I thought you would know because you're going.
Scotiabank, yeah.
Is that big enough for the double ring?
I think so, yeah.
Because there was discussion of a double ring potentially because of the lights out thing. How do you fit 10 of these guys into a steel cage? Yeah. And then everybody's like, I don't know if we'll make it work. Robert's asking if we know each other by chance. We do know each other pretty well. We almost died once in Cleveland together.
We do. I almost killed your regular co-host. Yeah. Oh my God, that's a whole other thing. We almost died in the rafters of the Rocket Mortgage Arena in Cleveland, Ohio.
Yeah, we're like, we'll just be cheap and buy the cheap tickets.
Nope.
Turns out those cheap tickets are
Almost-
absolute god awful nosebleed section.
Yeah.
So take it from us. Splurge just a little bit at the Rocket Mortgage Arena. But Maria's in the house. What's up, Maria? She says, good to see you. Hello, everybody. Yep, Women's Blood and Guts would be awesome. I absolutely agree with you, Ella. I think that would be a good move to make on their part. They have the roster to do it. If we're not going to introduce the women's tag team titles, which I believe Tony Khan said he has them.
Yes.
They're made. He's just waiting for the right opportunity. Honestly, I don't know what he's waiting for because I could name 5.
That's because a bunch of people got injured in that Casino Gauntlet. It was the issue.
Was that?
People were injured. Yeah, like Jamie was gone. Mina was injured. Shuri was injured. Harley was out. There's a couple other people that are out. So I think that was his biggest thing was the people were injured. Obviously, people are coming back now, though. So maybe.
Yes. We have people coming back. So maybe we'll get them. Maybe they'll be sooner than later. Maybe it all out. No, I don't think that might be too soon. I'm sure.
I'd rather see blood and guts, honestly.
I was gonna say, I'm sure Tony Khan fashion will have some type of tournament about it.
Yeah.
And so I'm okay with that. I like tournament wrestling. I know people get upset about it, especially like people that dog on AEW because he does it so much, but I'm just a fan of filling out brackets. It's like one of my favorite things.
Yeah.
If you send me a bracket, I will fill it out. It doesn't matter what it is. JPJ's in the house. What's up, JPJ?
Speaking of, I almost killed you.
Yeah, we were just talking about our Cleveland time. And how I almost had to just be between one beard.
Oh my god!
I probably would have just hired Jose at that point. We would have come up with a different show name. You two would have been dead. We would have had your funeral, and then Jose and I would have took off and did a
thank you.
thing.
Just always remember us.
Now, I don't want to say this in some kind of negative way because I thought everything about this next match was great, but I was thinking about it like there was no cool down match, but Zack Sabre Jr. and Nigel Guinness is a technical just wizardry. There's not a lot of like crazy spots. There's not going to be a lot of like, oh my God moments because that's not Zack Sabre Jr.'s stuff.
We didn't get the oh my God
and that's what I was saying. And we didn't
get
it. And we did not get it. So Nigel McGuinness challenges Zack Sabre Jr. for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. He's got Daniel Garcia in his side, Nigel that is, and everyone that watches AEW programming said Daniel Garcia is turning on Nigel McGuinness post-match or at some point.
We thought it was going to happen. And Tony Schiavone came in. We thought we were going to...
But also, if you paid attention to Daniel Garcia, as the match progressed, he got more and more frustrated. He got more and more vocal.
He had the white towel, too, didn't he?
He had it was gray, but he had a towel.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, he had all these things where he's building it up. We're like, okay, it's coming. And of course, like, there's not a lot of like things that I could, unless you have something. For me, there wasn't a ton of things here where I'm like, I point to that, go that rule. You know, it was a great match, but I was just waiting for Daniel Garcia like everybody else, and he just did not do. He just didn't do it.
Yeah, that was one of my probably 2 question marks that I had on this show. I'm just like we were expecting it. Then they came into the ring together and like Daniel like hugged him or raised his hand. And then Tony Schiavone came into the ring, but then they switched back to Daniel and Nigel for a second. I was like, oh, this is going to do it. And then no, it's just.
And even Daniel Garcia did that half-ass like hug, but he still looked pissed off, but he still hugged him. And I'm like, okay.
And then Tony Schiavone went to go announce the attendance, and Daniel rolled out of the ring. I was like, oh, are they going to cut? And Daniel's going to ambush Nigel from behind? That didn't – I think I was more surprised that he didn't turn. Like, what?
Yeah.
That was, like, perfect timing. So that was one of my 2 question marks of the evening.
Yeah, which makes me think, like, what – and JPJ is in the chat. He said on Wednesday he thought that Daniel Garcia was going to turn too, and he made the point that like Daniel Garcia, since that TBS or TNT Championship match, needed something. We need something from Daniel Garcia. It felt like we gave him the title run because he signed, and then we haven't figured it out. This was a good moment to maybe spark something from him, and it didn't happen. So my question to you, LJ, is what's next for Daniel Garcia?
He turns on Nigel on Collision, probably, where there's going to be less of an audience.
Where it's not going to be as impactful. It is a missed opportunity.
That's probably how it's going to be. Like, if you had the towel, like, either you were going to throw in the towel
Yeah.
or you were going to turn on him. Neither of those happened. So it's going to just happen on a random collision at this point. Or they're just going to scrap it. Oh, then again, Nigel does not wrestle a lot. So it's possible that they just scrap this and Nigel just goes back to commentary and wrestles in a few months. So it's possible that we don't even get a follow-up on this.
I mean,
and Daniel's just floating.
I mean, AEW did announce that it's, I think, sometime in December they're going back to London. So Nigel will be ready to wrestle then, because that's what they seem to do that with Nigel. They gave him the Danielson match because I think that we needed that. And now they're like, we're going overseas, Nigel. You're in, right?
Yeah.
Laura said it felt like they called an audible. Now, maybe, because like when Tony Khan came out there, they announced Tony Khan. He was out there earlier in the night with Martha Hart, by the way, announcing. He didn't say the number, but he said that they did set the record in the O2 for a wrestling event. And then Shivani...
It was 18,000, yeah.
Yeah, Shivani said it was 18,992, because I remember Excalibur going, if we could have squeezed 8 more seats in here, we would have did it for the round number. I'm going, I'm pretty sure you probably could have found 8 more seats in there if you really wanted to. Have some people sit on some laps or something. I'm sure there's some seats in those Raptors that we talked about.
Oh my God, yeah.
So yeah, that was that. And then we move on to the tag match. The one match that Ella J got wrong in her predictions. We are going to ridicule you to no end. The Hurt Syndicate takes on the Eliminator Tournament Final Champions, which is weird. Should have ended in a decisive finish. Brodito, Brody King, and Bandito, and FTR tied. Time limit draw. We got a triple threat. We have
so many questions about this match.
Please ask them, and we will talk about it, because I as well have so many questions about this match. I think, real quick, before you ask your questions, I'm going to just put this out there in the world. I think everyone in the IWC wrestling loves Brody King. Has wanted to see Brody King get a moment like this.
Yes.
So we're absolutely happy for Brody King. But do I think anybody other than maybe Brody King himself picked this winning option?
No.
I don't think so. No.
First of all, I get it why they made it a triple threat, because then the Hurt Syndicate don't have to get pinned. That's fine.
Yep.
Why was it Ricochet and the Gates of Agony interrupting and not Copeland and Christian? If FTR was not going to win, why did we not get Copeland and Christian interrupting to set up for the non-title match now at All Out?
Literally the only thing I could think of when that happened was, and this is me doing some Charlie Day, It's Always Sunny, like MJF has that connection with Ricochet and the Gates of Agony with the Briscoe stuff. Lashley said he was going to take out MJF if he won the championship. Maybe MJF, we haven't figured it out, said that he was, but then that's a stretch, because there's not any.
They did mention on.
Hold on.
Okay.
I don't appreciate it. I appreciate her, but I don't appreciate this. She says, "Hello, love. Hi, Pluggo." Hi, Mrs. Pluggo, the apple of my eye, the love of my life.
We're besties.
Mrs. Pluggo's in the chat. Mrs. Pluggo, I hope you dropped a like and a subscribe and told all your friends to come hang out here. But yeah, the only thing I could think of, but of course they did no legwork to let us know that was still a thing in MJF's mind. So yeah, the Gates of Agony and Ricochet coming out to take out the Hurt Syndicate was a very weird decision here in this moment.
They did mention possible, I think it might have been Excalibur who mentioned it, how Ricochet went up to the Hurt Syndicate a couple months ago and asked for a business card, but then MVP took it back and didn't want his business or whatever, or Ricochet turned them down or something. So they explained that possibly it could be that him being salty that he didn't end up working with the Hurt Syndicate, or it, like you said, it could absolutely be MJF getting back at the Hurt Syndicate for kind of turning his back on them after we just saw Ricochet and GOA working with him on Dynamite. So that's possible. But I feel like, well, one, I'm surprised at that.
That's
two, that we didn't get Cope and Christian at all, especially because I could be wrong, but I'd be shocked if we weren't setting up for FTR versus Cope and Christian and All Out. Like, this would have been the perfect way to do it. You got Ricochet and Gates of Agony taking out the Hurt Syndicate, fine, but then FTR come in and then Cope and Christian come in and cost FTR. That's not even getting to the fact is, what the hell was that ending? I think Cash Wheeler was late. So the referee just stopped counting at 2, even though Hardwood's shoulders were still down there and Bandito was still covering him. But it looks like Cash was late or something. And so the referee just stopped counting, goes 1, 2, and then he just stops. Then Cash comes in after that, after the referee has already stopped counting for some reason. And then Cash doesn't go towards Dax. Brody just kind of throws him out of the way, and then the referee counts again. That ending was weird. I think Cash was late, is what I have to assume it was, or Dax was supposed to kick out at first and he didn't.
Yeah, because the ref he went 1, 2, and then just went like this. Yeah. He just stopped, and I'm like,
I think Cash was late.
Yeah,
I don't know what that ending was. Now, I will say, I'm not mad about the ending as well. I love Brody King. Them and Bandito have been really fun as a tag team. And you don't need to run a tag title match to get to Cope and Christian versus FTR. It doesn't have to involve tag titles. But I was like, just imagine Cope and Christian as tag team champions for like the first time in in forever.
Yeah.
So I'm not like mad about the ending, but I have so many questions. What happened at that ending? Where were Cope and Christian? Where does Ricochet and the GOA bring into this? I have so many questions.
Well, and then I guess too, and as I think about it further and try to make sense. The ending was goofy. I don't make sense of it, but I do know that Ricochet has his beef with the Hurt Syndicate. He wanted in, and then he kind of snubbed him, and now he's trending towards him and GOA being a dominant force. But again, explain it to me. I would have liked to have seen the Hurt Syndicate at least kind of be involved towards the end there.
Yeah.
In terms of FTR, I don't know what we're doing here. That would have been, you put the titles on them.
Well, obviously, you don't need to do FTR and Cope and Christian with tag titles. Obviously, they're not going that route now. Yeah. It's just, where do they follow up? Because they're definitely not done with Cope and Christian. How do we get to All Out now is the question, we'll have to see. And obviously, who's gonna step up to Brodito? I think Bandito is defending. He's also ROH world champion, by the way, Bandito. Yeah. So he's defending his ROH title next week at Death Before Dishonor. So he's gonna have
double champ.
double duty coming up.
Well, they love them double. They got to figure that out. They got to figure that out with that ROH stuff.
But I'm very happy for Brody King. Absolutely.
100%. 100%. I always say with Brody King, I'm like, man, they put him in these matches that I love, and I'm like, but I know Brody's taking the pin or he's not winning, and it's a bummer. Well,
I thought FTR was winning. Evidently not, but I'm not mad about it. But that ending, I don't know what the hell that ending was.
I actually had the Hurt Syndicate retaining for some weird reason. I don't know why, and I thought they'd lose it on some Dynamite or something. But whatever, they went weird with it, and that was maybe one of the more questionable decisions of the night. But then we had Swerve and Okada for the Unified Championship, and a couple of days before this match, Fightful had reported that Swerve's been working with a torn meniscus since 2019.
Yeah.
Which is wild to me that nobody's brought it up in 7 years. But now that became the focal point of this match. I mean, Okada just
became obvious at that point.
It just became obvious.
Okada was going to win and then write him off somehow. I will say I was pleasantly surprised by Wardlow. Do I like that he's aligned with the Don Callis family, though, seemingly now? Not really. But I am happy to see Wardlow back, and, Swerve, obviously, best wishes to him, speedy recovery. It was a good match, just with a predictable outcome, but I will say they threw us a little bit of a curveball with Wardlow, so there's a little bit of a surprise there.
Thank you, Rob, for hitting that subscribe button. Everybody do the rest. We're 3 away from 20 likes on this particular stream. We're doing pretty well today. So if you got some friends, let them. I will be going live right after Heatwave. So when Heatwave ends, I will slide in there and we will do the post show there. Not Ella and I. She's got another post show. She's too cool for school for the 10 o'clock slot. But too sweet Kyle, who was in the chat earlier, will be with me he's part of the NXT Night Shift. Rainmaker saying, can't wait for Wardlow Hechicero tag team match. Okay, there wasn't a lot of noteworthy stuff from the match itself. I thought the match was good. It was pretty much about the ending. They destroyed Swerve's knee. Wardlow comes out, takes out Prince Nana while Swerve's incapacitated. And the Don Callis family on Takeshita's back, Hechicero, Lance Archer, Kyle Fletcher, Wardlow, and I think
we still have Trent Beretta, Rocky Romero. Brian Cage is going to be out for a while still because I think it was a knee injury or something. There might be more, but those three as well.
Is this just the most insane?
Oh, Josh Alexander.
Yeah, Josh Alexander's in there too. Yeah, he was wrestling earlier tonight. Yeah. This is just the most insane loaded group.
It's like the Bullet Club now.
Like they should never lose a single match ever. It
depends who's wrestling.
Who's beating that? Like, but as a collective, like who stacks up to the meat on that team?
The Ops and a bunch of other people. I don't know.
But there's only 3 of those Ops guys. There's like
that's why you got a line.
There's
the
like
Ops and the Golden Lovers.
There's like 17 Don Callis family members.
It's like the Bullet Club now, honestly.
But shout out to Grainmaker. It's like the Wu-Tang Clan. You're in the Wu-Tang Clan. I'm in the Wu-Tang Clan. We're all in the Wu-Tang Clan together.
You're in the Don Callis family, and you're in
the Don Callis family. You're in the Don. Then we move on to the Women's World Championship. Timeless Toni Storm versus Athena. This match for me was up there for my match of the night. I really enjoyed this. I really enjoyed Billy Starks' involvement. It wasn't over the top at first because Toni Storm kind of took her out, but she kind of made her presence felt a little bit. But they just kept going back and forth, and Athena hit through everything. I don't know who beats Timeless Toni Storm. Speaking of people,
I think Athena tapping out was also another surprise.
It was wild. Yeah, she taps out at the end, which Toni Storm doesn't necessarily tap a ton of people out these days, especially of the caliber of Athena. So that was a nice little swerve. I saw this on Twitter. I can't remember who said it, but let's hope that this doesn't mean Athena just goes back to ROH and we don't see her anymore.
This is also another question of who beats Athena for this ROH Women's Championship. I thought if they were gonna, I know they've run it twice already, but I was like, if you're gonna have Billy beat Athena, like this would have been the perfect place for her to like set it up, you know. And Billy Turner, obviously that didn't happen. I was happy to see Mina back. Obviously, she was briefly injured, and she helped Toni retain. But yeah, like you said, who's gonna beat Toni? I still think it should be Jamie. Personally, we never got that rematch.
Yeah.
But we've got some obstacles. Jamie's focused on other stuff right now. So
couple of other fun notes from this match is the video board was broken from the previous match, and then Toni Storm threw Athena into it and it magically started working again.
Oh, really?
I was like, good for you, Toni Storm. And then whatever that move Athena did with that submission, where she did that flip into the submission, was wild.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's called. She needs to put a name on it and do that all the time. But yeah, we're cruising. We're at the main event, the technical main event.
Yeah.
Did I miss any? Have I missed anything? They did a really good job tonight of like they just kept going. They didn't do a ton. They did the video packages here a little bit, but there wasn't a lot of like filler spots, filler stuff. It was like match. Queen Aminata takes the title from Athena. Marita says that would be an interesting thing.
I would like that, but I think where she is right now, she's not on the level of like a Statlander or like a Willow or like, you know, not at that top level yet. I think she's a top like mid-carder right now, but if she can go to that next level and they can obviously get more momentum behind her, then like absolutely she could. I just think right now she's not built to believably defeat
but I guess
Athena or Toni.
I would think it's got to be Billy, and I think you got to let Billy run it down there. But I like them together. whatever decision they make on who beats Athena for the ROH title, Athena just needs to be, okay, Athena's done with ROH. She's now on an AEW roster full time.
I saw people, I don't know if it's true or not, or just people speculating that we were going to get Athena versus Mercedes versus Tony for like all the titles. And I was like, oh God. Oh God. It'd be hard to bet against Mercedes in that case. But I thought that was interesting, but also like, I don't really want more double champions. Please.
Yeah, they have enough on the roster, especially in the women's division where like spread them out. Spread the love.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about titles, and does Mercedes does she have to take those with her? Where she travels, does she have to have a separate carry-on just for all her belts? Because she has
if she brings them,
she has 9 of them.
Yeah. It's like 90 pounds.
That is insanity. And I don't know what you do with her with all those 9 championships, but maybe she's the one that dethrones Toni Storm if we could ever get her off of the other championships.
I feel like the story about Mercedes is she's going to lose one. Well, I guess in the case of the Rev Pro, it'd be 2. But one by one by one by one. That's the story of her downfall. Like once she loses the TBS, I feel like then it's a downfall, which is going to be a great story. But who's gonna beat her for that? I think it should be a one-on-one match. We already saw she lost the New Japan in a 3-way, which is fine. You know, it protects her even though she loses it. But if you're gonna have a true downfall, I think she needs to get pinned and pinned and pinned.
And
then loses them.
Slowly loses her mind. Yeah, I'm with you there. That would be a fun Mercedes just slowly going crazy. I don't know. She's been hanging out with Bailey on IG. Maybe Bailey can get
honestly,
out of that.
Hell, put it on Harley Cameron.
Hey, listen, don't joke. I love me some Harley Cameron. I think she is so much fun.
Same.
But I love goofy wrestling. But this was not goofy wrestling. This was the AEW World Heavyweight Championship match.
I already know what you're gonna say. Go on.
What am I gonna say?
Well, at least I tweeted it. I don't know if you tweeted it as well. Like he could have won. MJF could have won by DQ.
Yes.
Or
I did retweet that. I've seen a lot of tweets that happen. Furiously tweeting
MJF. He paid.
Yes.
He paid Ricochet, right, to take out Mark Briscoe. Why didn't he pay somebody to just hit him, just slightly slap him?
Because we had to get this match. We had to.
And second of all, they went through a table. That itself is also a disqualification.
I don't know. You fall through some Slim Jim tables on the other promotion. They don't get this cute all the time. So yes, on Wednesday night, MJF goaded Hangman into not having to execute his championship contract. No DQ. A DQ changes title hands, and there'd be no countouts. So yes, I think you're right. I think MJF did spend a lot of this match trying to get Hangman.
You're telling me MJF, the scummiest player in the game, did not pay somebody to, again, take the easy way out and slap him 5 seconds into the match so the ref instantly calls for a DQ. Now, I'm not saying I love Hangman, but I'm just saying, like, where MJF, that's so believable for him. Like, where was that?
Right, but who'd be the one to do it, right? Who's going to take that money? There's honor in that backstage. This is
not for Ricochet.
This is a world championship match.
Anybody in the Don Callis family?
You know, Ricochet.
They like money.
Yeah, that's true. There's a lot of them, and he's got some history with a few of them. Maybe he could
have given the Young Bucks some money. They're in need of money. Remember?
Oh, Yes, they're in need of money, and they have a brand new entrance song, which I think they should be their song all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, this match was wild. MJF spent the entire time just trying to get Hangman to break. He couldn't do it. We saw the dynamite ring. We saw tables. Mark Briscoe came out, knocked out security guards, got dragged to the back. It was all over the exposed turnbuckle. MJF gets busted up.
Bryce Remsburg, I have a little bit of beef with you. You obviously saw Hangman's foot on the rope, which is fine. But then once Bryce hit 3, he went down. But then just suddenly, miraculously, as MJF goes to move Hangman's foot, Bryce just gets up all of a sudden out of nowhere.
Which I was going to ask you. I've been watching wrestling my entire life. Just because so it's got to be 1, 2, 3, go to the bell. So it's not a true 3 count that wins the match. It's 1, 2, 3, then the bell. So really, it's like a 4 count. So I was like, wait a minute, he did count 3, and then where's Justin Roberts in there? Somebody to go. Well, the bell hasn't rang. I know the commentary.
Hangman got his foot on the rope before the count of 3. My thing was
but Rensburg didn't see it. He still hit 3 on the mat.
He evidently did see it though, because he spontaneously got up out of nowhere after he got up so fast. He got spontaneous energy all of a sudden after being down for like 5 minutes. And just when MJF happens to try and move Hangman's foot, I thought that was hilarious, but also like just out of nowhere. Like, what?
He just spawned up. He's like, yep, I'm good.
Like the Undertaker. That's how it was, honestly.
But then MJF sets the ref pull spot and he kicks Hangman in the balls. Which the whole match, Rensburg knew what was going on. He kept going, "How did this happen? How did this happen?
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't you just DQ him then? You knew." And then of course, because this is how wrestling goes, Hangman uses the contract to knock out MJF.
Yeah,
hit the buckshot or the dead eye. I'm sorry, and win.
Yeah.
And it's like, so Hangman cheated. So now MJF has this.
He still has his contract.
He still has his contract. He now has another argument to be like, well, I beat him. He cheated. He also has that I did pin him for a 3 count, and Rensburg didn't see it. So what do we do with MJF?
Without revealing something, MJF, I believe, is going to be away for a little bit. Personal stuff. So I think where he's going to be, I don't know how they're going to write him off for a week or 2. But he'll eventually be back, obviously. Does he get a rematch at All Out? Possibly. But I mean, he could easily be Paige's next opponent, but I would like to see somebody fresh. Personally, there's a lot of heels in AEW. We were just mentioning the entire Don Callis family. That's not even getting to the Death Riders. That's not even getting to the Bullet Club guys. Like,
oh yeah. And then Fernando said it was a revenge for Mark spot. Grainmaker said get the contract off to MJF. Little reset needed. That angle sucked on Wednesday. JPJ said it was a great match, but it was a little much at the end. Yeah, well, Hangman, I didn't think Hangman was losing. I think they had to do a bunch of weird stuff to kind of make it seem. I thought it was fine, man. I had a good time with the match.
I mean, I'm a Hangman girly, so I'm not gonna like any match he's in.
Yeah, you stand for the Hangman.
I do.
Yeah.
I don't know who he's gonna face in All Out, but as long as I get a Hangman match there, I'm good.
Fair enough. And then we touched on it a little bit at the top of the show because Lawrence was here. But that main event, we had the 5-on-5 steel cage. I'm still, my stomach is still queasy over the
fork spot.
The fork spot to Darby Allin's ear. It was, and the Bullet Club guy. Oh, sorry, not Bullet Club. It was the Death Riders with Gabe Kidd and the Young Bucks who got the Bop theme. Yeah. I was dancing. How did we feel about that?
My favorite thing in all of AEW right now, besides time with Tony Storm, of course, is the Young Bucks. They've been having so much fun with it. I have been enjoying it. Justin Roberts, Slick Nick. I've just been enjoying that so much. And also they are fantastic, like in the ring too, as well. So I think that they are one of the best parts going about AEW right now is the Young Bucks.
I agree.
So I have no complaints over them. Now, heading into this match, the other team, on the other hand, like we mentioned, Will had his neck issues. Kenny's gut, we don't know. I believe Kota Ibushi had ankle issues and like a shoulder issue. Tanahashi's knees there were some spots in that match where he looked stiff and was like walking really slow that made me a little bit uneasy. And somehow throughout all of this, Darby Allin was the one who headed in the most healthy after just climbing Mount Everest. He got hit by a bus last year, and somehow he seemed to be the most healthy heading into this for his team. Obviously, that's not the case coming out of this.
We got Spencer Love in the chat. He must be new here. Hi, Spencer. He said it was a very good show. not his favorite. Spencer, if you're watching, hit a
Yeah.
like button, hit a subscribe. We're close to 20 likes on the stream. If you're new here, bud, hit that subscribe button. Just kidding.
You're
That's
new
the
here.
boss. Yeah, that was and this was the thing, and we're running close on time, so I won't go too deep into it. But when Will announced that he was injured and that he was cleared, I was like, I said on Wednesday or Thursday, I was like, I hope that this is like a kayfabe thing, or like there's some kind of, maybe it's not as bad as it sounds, because I would like to err on the side of like, you don't have to do this. I get it's London.
Yeah.
I get it's Forbidden
Yeah.
Door, but Will, you don't have to do this for us. We know what you've done for AEW since you've been here. I don't think anybody would have thought less of you if you sat this one out.
Yeah, but how can you give up a hometown pop? And also, it was also Tanahashi's last match in like ever in the UK. So
No, for
you
sure.
knew they were going over.
For
but, like,
sure.
Yeah.
100%. But the guy,
Yeah.
the person in me that just goes,
Yeah.
my goodness, like I just don't want anybody to leave this thing hurt. And it was wild. It was what we expected. The Death Riders come out. Everybody's brawling. That spot with Gabe Kidd and Darby Allin through both tables, the handcuffs. They threw everything they could at this thing. And of course, the ending was Tanahashi
Taking his time.
taking his sweet time. And they didn't do a close-up on it because they knew.
Yeah.
And then he hits a frog splash. And they win. The good guys win, which I think we all expected.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Ospreay gets this awesome moment at the end where he's walking around and everybody's basically, showering him with praise. They hit the graphic. And it's about to go out there. I literally told Lawrence, I'll see you later. I got to get set up with Ella here, get this thing started. And then they proceeded to murder Will Ospreay. And nobody thought, let's jump over the cage.
The only one who jumped over the cage was Marina Shafir.
Well, it's because she's a badass.
That's right.
She's the most badass.
She's my favorite part about the Death Riders, by the way.
Mine too. Yeah, she's great. But I was just like, that was definitely their way of writing Will off for a while.
Yeah.
100%. Keeping the Death Riders thing kind of going. Obviously, I don't know if I can say what's next for any of these people, because I think this was more of an all-star collective main event. I don't think there was really any
we're not going to
storyline driven stuff here.
Tanahashi. I mean, he could still be do some AEW stuff. He's not retiring until January, but I assume Kota and Tanahashi are going to go back to New Japan. Kenny, I guess technically he hasn't gotten a rematch against Okada, so it could be Kenny and Okada. Will is obviously going to be out for a while. I would expect Darby to be off TV for a few weeks, at least if he's not hurt, to sell that he's hurt through that spot. So I think reasonably the only person we might be seeing is Kenny Omega.
Yeah, and even his involvement in this match, it kind of just came out of nowhere where they're like, Kenny and Kota are in, and it's like, we haven't seen Kenny since he fought Okada.
Yeah.
And he's here, and you could tell that they were basically not saying goodbye to Will, but because at the beginning he was super emotional, they all hugged it out. Yeah. There's going to be a bit of a reset, I think, here after Forbidden Door with some of the roster, maybe some of the talent, because Swerve's going to be gone. Osprey's going to be gone. That's two of your top stars. And now I think it's time maybe we start building some people up.
Brody King, but now he's
Brody King. But now he's dead. Now he's a tag champ. Can't do that. Maybe that's why they left FTR. Maybe that Dax Harwood singles run is coming back. I don't know. We'll maybe that's part of the reason the Hurt Syndicate decision was made. Maybe they're Bobby Lashley's there, right?
Well, yeah, because if they're going against Ricochet and Toa and Bishop, then Hurt Syndicate are going to be baby faces by default. Yeah.
Yeah, and you can slot Bobby Lashley single. Shelton, hell, he's fantastic.
Absolutely. It's been a while since we've seen Shelton get a major singles run.
And Grainmaker saying Young Bucks for Brodito, baby. I'd be in for that.
I'd love that. But
we're right at the hour mark. We both said we have heat wave responsibilities that start in about 20 minutes. So
crazy.
Let's not prolong it anymore. Match of the night, real quick, Ella, and then plug your stuff, and we'll get out of here.
I still think, shockingly, for me, it was not overkill. It was the right amount of time. They had some good spots. Takahashi and Kyle Fletcher, I feel for me, was match of the night, and maybe the TBS championship. But I think between those two would be the TNT title. Going into it, didn't really have a story, but I think that they had a really fun match. It wasn't too long. There was no crazy blood. There wasn't over the top stuff. I think for me, it was the TNT title. It was the match of the night for me.
That's fair. I'm gonna stick with Tony Storm and Athena. I really had a good time with that. I like the TBS 4-way as well. But I really enjoyed the world title spot there.
Yeah.
I forgot to mention there was gummy bears in that main event spot.
Yes, instead of thumbtacks.
I wrote that down. They got gummy bears instead of that. I was like, Jesus Christ. They had everything.
I've went to an indie show. They've used potato chips instead of thumbtacks.
That's crazy. But Ella, thank you so much for hanging out once again, doing this with me. I have a lot of fun doing these. I think this is the third one I've done, and I enjoy the chat's always been popping. Everybody's been awesome. You've been awesome hanging out. So tell the people where they can find you and what you got coming up here later today, even.
You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and at Blue Sky at It's Ella J. All my links to all my projects, podcasts, and writing are all there in one convenient place. Follow me on Twitter, too, for the link later for, Heatwave. It's going to be a whole day of wrestling. Mm-hmm. Then next week, we get another day of wrestling in the afternoon, by the way, which is going to be a lot of fun with Clash of Paris. But, yeah, you can follow me in there and always support Love Wrestling. I'll be back soon. I just don't know when. I
was going to say, I think the Clash of Paris might be the next one of these that we do. Maybe. We got to talk about it. We got to figure it out if the timing thing is off. But you know who I am. I'm Pluggo. You can find me at Pluggo on all social media platforms every Thursday between two beards, Saturdays for exposure, right here doing the Triple P with various guests. I'll be back after Heatwave later tonight with Too Sweet Kyle on the Mark podcast. We'll be breaking down Heatwave. But yeah, thank you, Ella. Thank you, everyone in the chat. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.